How has that AFC Championship game loss sat with you in the intervening months?
Absolutely. It's definitely tough, thinking about it much after the game and as well as throughout the offseason. You grind so you can put yourself back in that position, but knowing you don't start the year in the AFC Championship game, you have to grind your way back. And I know each and every person in this locker room is very hungry for that and knowing the type of team that we have and all the potential that we have. But it's about taking that next step and finishing the deal as opposed to coming close. There's no moral victories in this game. So you have to go out and take every single thing that you want. And we're going to do that by any means necessary. And that's why we're preparing the way that we're preparing this offseason, as well as going up into fall camp, knowing it's going to be a tough year. But, hey, we wouldn't like it any other way but the tough road.
Yeah, I understand that. I just wanted to see how you're using it. Do you use it, or you're just like, that was that. This is now.
Yeah, that definitely was that, and this is now. But at the end of the day, as a human being, you cannot say that, oh, I forgot about this or I'm not worried about this, because definitely worried about it and knowing that those guys are gonna come back hard as well. And guess what? That's what it is. Two clashing, and hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I'm excited, and I know everything's going to take care of itself. And I can guarantee you we'll definitely be prepared like no other.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Vaguely. I didn't really watch it closely, vaguely, like a little bit. Happy for the guys that won. Hats off to them at the end of the year. There's only one champion, and, hats off to those guys, Pat Mahomes, and the Chiefs. They had a great season, fought through some adversity. So, happy for those guys. But at the end of the day, obviously, would like to be in those shoes, but those shoes are not given. You have to go out and take every single thing you want, and those guys earned it. So hats off to those guys.
So you just walked past the television, or were you invited to a Super Bowl party, and you're like, screw that? I mean, like I'm trying to get your sense of how you processed everything.
No, absolutely. There's plenty of Super Bowl parties being invited to, different events and things of that nature. But really, I was hanging out with some friends, and obviously everybody in the world is pretty much watching the Super Bowl. So it's on the TV. I'll glance up, watch a play or two, but more so was just in conversation with friends, because it still sucked a little bit at that time and didn't want to bring my mood down anymore. But, hats off to those guys. And, this year we got to take every step possible to make sure we put ourselves in that position. But it's going to start with the first game.
And then one last minute in the past, if you don't mind, Roquan Smith, have you noticed what's going on in your old stomping grounds in Chicago and what's happening there and who they drafted and what they've built since you've left?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a follower of things that goes on across the league. I still have my place in Chicago. So a lot of respect for that city. It's a great city to be in and whatnot. And watching those guys, still have a couple guys on the team, and knowing they got Williams with the #1 overall pick, which is awesome. Then the receiver from Washington, I think Rome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of great talent. I know the guy Poles wanted to build through the draft and things of that nature. So I'm happy for those guys, those young guys coming into the league. I'm wishing them all the best. They got some good presence on the defensive side of the ball, some good players, but everything sounds good on paper, just like any place. So it's about what you do out there on the field, and that's a tough division with Green Bay, Detroit, and Chicago trying to come up through the ranks, as well as Minnesota still have some pieces. So it'll be exciting to see how it plays out. I'm wishing those players the best and hope all works out in the favor that they would like.
What'd you think of when you saw the schedule talking about this upcoming season and that you're opening up in Kansas City? What'd you think of that?
Get your popcorn ready. Thursday night football, the entire world rocking. I know I'm going to be on 10. I know my guys are going to be on 10. It's going to be exciting. Arrowhead, never played there, so look forward to crossing that stadium off the list, as well as going in there and putting on a show in front of the world. And we'll be prepared like no other, and definitely be ready. But that'll be the start of the season. But we knowing that's a long season, and whoever is out there, like I always tell my guys, roll the ball out there, whether it's pavement, trampoline, or wherever the case may be. We'll be ready. Backyard, throw them up, bust them up. So we'll definitely be ready, however, whenever, and versus whoever.
So, and again, I know you're sitting in whatever office you're sitting in the Ravens facility here in the middle of June, but if you could just channel yourself to being in that tunnel. You've never been in Arrowhead. You know that place is going to be cooking. You know It's going to be after a banner raise that you wanted to do in your own building. What is going to be going through number zero's mind seconds before taking that field on that Thursday night, Roquan?
Absolutely. It's going to be very exciting. I've heard from a couple guys that say, like, man, this is probably one of the loudest stadiums in the league. But, hey, I've played in front of hundreds of thousands before. I'm excited for it. And I like to more so say, if there's a father, mother who out there, I heard it from Harbs, taking his or her kid to the game, I want them to say after that game, little kid say to his mom or dad, when I grow up, I want to play the game the way number zero plays the game. That's the mark that I'm trying to leave out there.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.